Hey everybody, and welcome to Crochet Night. So in this video, I'm going to take you through most of the steps to crocheting one of our scarves. And this is primarily for somebody who is right-handed. If you're left-handed, I'll include some videos for you. So you obviously need your yarn and you need a crochet hook. I'm using a 6mm hook with number 4 yarn, but I think that 6 is a good size in general. So the first thing that we have to do is make a slip knot. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the end of your yarn and you're just going to lay it flat on your table like this. Then we're going to take the end of the yarn and make a loop like that. Then I'm going to take the loop, I'm going to fold it over the long piece of the yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn. And then with my right hand, I'm going to grab the center of this pretzel looking thing, and with my left hand I'm going to grab the tail end of my yarn and the long piece that's connected to the ball, and I'm going to pull up with my right hand, which will make a loop like this. I can then stick my hook inside the loop and pull both my tail end and the long piece so that the loop is secured on the hook. So that's the first part of this all done. Next thing we need to do is we need to chain. And to get in and to start chaining, we need to get into position to crochet. So you always want your hook, the top of your hook, to be facing you. You want your slip knot, this thing, on the left side. You want your loop to be somewhere around here on your hook. And I'm going to take my pointer finger and I'm going to hold down the loop like this. I'm then going to grab, we have the tail end here and then we have the long piece. I'm going to grab the long piece and I'm going to wrap it around the back of the hook like that. And then I'm going to let it go. I'm going to pinch this little loop right here and pull it towards my face a little bit just so that there's some more wiggle room under here. And I'm going to pull it over the hook. And when I pull it over the hook, this part of the yarn is going to catch on the hook and it's going to keep that yarn in place while we pull this over. So I pulled this up a little bit towards my face and then I'm going to pull it over the hook, just like that. And now I've created one chain. So I'm going to do that again. I hold this down with my pointer finger. Now my chain is on the left side. I wrap the long piece around the back of my hook like this. Pinch this loop right here, pull it up towards my face a little bit, and pull that over the hook. So now that's 2 chains, and we have to chain 11, so we need to make 9 more. So 1, right? So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, right? Now that you've chained 11, we need to locate the chain side of our chain versus the V side of the chain. Now, the way that I usually teach students this is to locate the chain side, all right? And to find the chain side, you want to look for this signature yarn that runs down the center like this, right? If you see that, you're looking at the chain side, which in that case, you want to flip it over, all right? So now we're looking at the V side. So I would say find the chain side so then you can flip it over and see your V side, right? And now we're going to actually start making some stitches in here. So when you're looking at your V side, see all of these little notches at the top, like 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Those are what you're going to stick your hook underneath. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So what you're going to do first is this very first notch that's at the end of your project. We're going to skip over that one. And I'm going to take this second notch, this one right here. And I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to slide it underneath that little notch. So now I have 2 loops on the hook. I'm then going to, and my chain should be on the left again, right? I'm then going to take my yarn, and since it should be on like the right side of your hook now, I'm just going to drape it over the hook like this. I'm then going to grab this loop right here and pull that one over the hook. And then I'm going to take the yarn, I'm going to drape it over again. Now I'm going to pinch these two loops right here and pull those over the hook. And we've now made our first stitch. I'm going to do it again. So if I'm looking at this right here is my next notch. They kind of look like little waves. I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it underneath that little notch. I have 2 loops on here. I'm going to drape the yarn, which is also called yarning over. So that's what I'm going to refer to it now as. I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to pull this loop over the hook. Then I'm going to yarn over again, and I'm going to pull both these loops over the hook. All right, so that's 2 stitches. All right, I'm going to keep going down the line. So I'm going to insert it underneath the next notch, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Into the next one. So that was 3, right? This is 4. Yep. Here's 5. Insert, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. This is 6. Insert, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Here's 7. Insert, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. 8. 9. And 10. Now when you're crocheting, you always have to be counting, so that way you end up with straight edges. So I just finished my 10th stitch, which means that I've completed my row. And you're probably asking, oh, well, why do we have to chain 11 then if we only made 10 stitches? That's because that last chain is your turning chain, or it's your turning chain, right? So now that you've finished 10 stitches, we're going to go back to chaining real quick. So I'm going to hold my hook like this. I'm going to take the long piece of my yarn. I'm going to wrap it around the back just like that. Pinch the loop that's on my hook and pull it over. So now I've chained 1. You always chain 1 at the end of your row. And then what I'm going to do is, because I have nowhere to go now, I'm going to turn the project. So now I'm going to work down the row going this way. And when you're looking at this now, we still see the little notches at the top, but if you flip your project over like this, they kind of look like little V's. Like here's one side of the V, here's the other side, right? We now have to stick the hook underneath the V's. My bad, I had to let my dog in. All right. So now if you're looking at your project from this side, you see V's at the top, right? When you insert your hook, you have to make sure you get it under both sides of the V, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. But first, to figure out where we need to stick the hook, this first V that's closest to your hook, we're going to skip over that one. In the second one where my fingers are pinching, that's where I need to insert my hook. So from the side, it kind of looks like this. I'm going to stick the hook underneath that layer of V's. So now it kind of looks like there's 3 loops on here because we have both sides of the V and then we have the loop that was originally on the hook, right? But for the sake of keeping everything consistent, we're going to say that this piece right here is 1 loop. All right. So now we're going to go back to single crochet stitches, which I don't even know if I said that before. If that's what it was. All right. So to do that, we've inserted the hook. Now you yarn over, you pull through the first loop, aka the V. Then you yarn over again and you pull through both loops like that. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. So here's my next V right here. I'm gonna stick the hook underneath the V, like that. There we go. I yarn over, I pull through the V, then I yarn over again, and I pull through 2 loops. So now that was 2 single crochet stitches, and I'm just gonna go down the line again, making sure that I'm counting. So I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then again, when I finish one row, I chain 1. So remember, you wrap it around, pull this loop over, and then I turn. I skip over that first V closest to the hook, insert underneath the second V, yarn over, pull through the V, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and I basically just keep going, right? So we want our stitches to add up to 10 at the end of each row. I just think that that's an easy number to work with, and I can always sew these pieces together later. But yeah, happy crocheting. Feel free to ask me or anybody around you who looks like they know what they're doing for some help. I know that I teach crocheting a little bit differently than a lot of other people. Like, most people don't pinch and pull over the loops. I just think it's easier for people to understand the concept of it. But yeah, ask me or anybody else around you for help. Happy crocheting.